Hey everybody, it's Dave McGuire from Dave McGuire Reads. Recently I was reading a client script, and my God, was it one of the more entertaining scripts I've read in a very long time. It was hilarious and insightful, and it stuck with me long after I had stopped reading it. So much so that I had to privately message the screenwriter and just tell them how much I enjoyed their main character. She was so well written. She jumped off the page, and she really felt real. Like she felt like somebody I could know. She could inhabit our world as it stands right now. And it got me thinking, what was it about her that I enjoyed so much? Was it because she was witty? No. I mean, her wit was fun, but that wasn't it. It wasn't because she had some good zippy one-liners. They were hilarious, but that wasn't it either. No, it was actually because I knew exactly what she wanted in the entire story. Sometimes when we're writing, and believe me, I've personally done this countless times, I'm guilty of it, we think of the really cool sequences first before we do anything else about the script, right? We think like, well, there's going to be an explosion there, and then they need to have a fight there, and then we need to make up at this point, or their car's going to run out of gas on page 45 as it dangles over a cliff, and so on and so on and so on. And that's all great, but often in our first drafts, especially in mine, full disclosure, our characters are just standing around in the middle of the action, and they're just happily watching with a grin on their face, and these actions are just happening to them. They are passive characters, and there have been plenty of scripts that I've been reading over the past couple of months where characters are just passive, and the world just keeps spinning around them, and they have no control over the effect of the plot or even over their own fate within the story. And from one writer to another, you have to have your characters be active. That is what creates good conflict, and good conflict is what creates a good story. In the Screenwriter's Workbook by Sid Field, he writes that there are 4 essential qualities that make a good character: dramatic need, point of view, attitude, and change and transformation. But we're going to focus on dramatic need. What does your character want? Let's take, for example, Walter White from Breaking Bad. What is his dramatic need? Walter has cancer. He needs money to be able to support his family when he's gone. That is the simplest and purest form of what a character wants. All the explosions, death, and mayhem, those are nothing unless Walter has this one and very simple need. Or let's take Benjamin Gates from National Treasure. In order to bring legitimacy to his family name, Benjamin Gates will have to locate a lost treasure hidden in America's history. But then 15 minutes in, Gates' goal changes slightly to steal the Declaration of Independence himself before the antagonist does, and then find the treasure and bring legitimacy to his family, right? But let's examine that for a moment. When Gates realizes that his former partner is now his enemy, Gates becomes active to try and stop the antagonist from stealing the Declaration. He tries all of his regular methods, right? He calls the FBI, he goes to the NSA, he gets laughed out of the building, and it fails, right? So now he is forced to steal the document first. Gates is an active character throughout the entirety of the film. Go back, watch it. It's a great time, but you'll see he is active through that entire movie. Sid Field says, and I couldn't agree more with this, is that discovering the dramatic need of your character is essentially one of the hardest parts about our job. And yet, once we understand what drives them, once we know what they want, it's the key to unlocking every door of action that we see in our heads. So, get back to that blinking cursor and light that fire under your characters' butts. It's going to all be worth it. Trust me. And until next time, screenwriting friends, we'll talk soon.